At that moment, the girl took off her hat, and all her classmates were stunned. No one expected that the ugliest girl in class could turn out to be so beautiful after a makeover. What her bullies didn't know was that Annie had another identity. She was a princess of a small European kingdom. At first, Annie was just an unnoticed high school student. Because of her plain looks, her classmates often ignored her. Bullying was simply part of her everyday life. This made her shy. Even speaking on stage would make her so nervous she felt like throwing up. She thought she would have to live this way forever. But when she turned 16, her mother told her the truth. She handed Annie an envelope with an address. Following it, Annie arrived at a luxurious estate. The moment she entered, servants inspected her carefully. Then, a noble-looking lady descended the stairs, her grandmother, whom she was meeting for the very first time. Annie was nervous, but during their conversation, her grandmother revealed a shocking secret. Annie was the princess of a small European nation. Annie was in disbelief, and to make things even harder, her grandmother demanded that she return and inherit the throne. To Annie, it felt like a cruel joke. Terrified, she ran away in panic. But to her shock, her grandmother appeared again the next day. Even her mother urged her to obey. Annie couldn't resist their pressure and reluctantly agreed to try. A princess, of course, had to look and act like one. Annie underwent the biggest transformation of her life. First, her posture. Every step had to be graceful, and her sitting position had to be dignified. Then came table manners. She had to abandon her bad habit of eating hastily. They even hired her a professional dance instructor. After weeks of training, Annie slowly began to resemble a real princess. And then came the change that left Annie completely stunned. They plucked almost all of her thick eyebrows and reshaped her appearance. After a full day with stylists, Annie finally experienced the most beautiful moment of her life, arriving once again, this time in a luxury car, dazzling everyone who saw her. She captured all eyes, but her best friend couldn't accept it, saying Annie had become just like everyone else, a vain girl desperate for attention. Her words broke Annie's heart. At school, Annie wore her hat again, but the bullies accused her of breaking the dress code and forced her to remove it. The moment she took it off, the entire class was stunned into silence. Soon after, Annie's true identity as a princess was exposed. Crowds gathered outside the school gates, and many opportunists lied to reporters, claiming to be Annie's close friends. Overnight, Annie became the center of attention and made front-page headlines. The sudden fame overwhelmed her, turning her once peaceful life upside down. Even her friends started treating her with new respect. With everything spiraling out of control, Annie finally had to face the reality. After all, she was still a princess.